Happy Thursday, everybody. We are going to be doing some shipping. Hopefully you can hear me better. I have my handy dandy AirPods in. It's still very echoey in here because I have nothing on the walls, but we're doing some shipping again. It's going to be a little bit of a hang out with me, chat with me. I'm starting my shipping this morning with Whatnot sales. So I'm going to kind of go in a little bit about how to set up shipping on Whatnot, how I set up shipping on Whatnot, and we'll break down some of these sales so you can see how it works. Whatnot shipping is kind of complicated in a sense. Also, sorry, it's a little bit crooked, but I'm trying to do what I can with the setup I currently have. Anyway, Whatnot can be a little bit confusing with the shipping. I have most of my shipments set up so that it is anything over a pound gets shipped out priority. So anything under a pound gets shipped out ground advantage. Anything over a pound, I'm allowed to use priority boxes. However, I am not allowed to use priority flat rate boxes. So it's a little bit different than Poshmark's priority rules, but we'll get into it. So when you're looking at your Whatnot labels, there is a way to email yourself the label and the invoice to the label. So the invoice for the buyer. And what the invoice does for me as the seller is it shows me what the person bought, how much they got it for. It shows me their address. I'm not going to show you right now, but you can see these two top sheets are them. It tells me the name of the item they bought, meaning whatever I typed in as the name for their item that they won, it will show up here on the sheet. So there's a lot of different ways to ship Whatnot sales. You can have hangers with numbers on them. You can make piles as you go. You can have the actual name of each item typed out and then just pull them out based on what you name them. So if you had like a Nike colorful windbreaker, you would know when you see that Nike colorful windbreaker on the invoice that that's the item that buyer won. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. Sometimes I will do the number system where I have numbers on a hanger with different weight categories because I do weigh myself. I know there's sellers who will kind of take a guesstimate on what weight they will have for the entire show, and they'll either pay the cost out of pocket or honestly, I don't know. I've always weighed my stuff or always overestimated rather than underestimated, but I'd rather just weigh it. It takes a second to do before I run the item, and that prevents me having to pay any extra shipping, and it prevents the buyer from having to also pay any extra shipping or pay over shipping that they shouldn't be paying. So right now, how I have been doing my shows is I will take these priority boxes. They are just the large priority box. Oops. And when somebody buys an item, I will label the box with their name with a little thermal label. I'm not going to show this buyer's name, but I'll label the box and pop anytime they win something. I'll just fold it up nicely and stick it in here. So at the end of the show, when I get off, I'm able to just close this box up like this, stick the invoice in, and tape it shut, and it's ready to go. It takes no time at all when you do Whatnot sales this way, but you know, it's also kind of hard because you're making the boxes and not everybody needs a big box and blah, blah, blah. Right now, I did this show a little bit different. I just made piles with their name on top rather than opening a bunch of these boxes up, but either or. You can do either or. Both work. So what I'm going to do is I see the buyer's name on here. Their username comes up on this invoice. I'm going to pull the item, and I know this is their item because I have a name tag on the top of it with their name on it that matches the invoice's name. And I'm just going to pop this into I'm going to look to see like what kind of packaging does this need. It is 4 items in total. And for this to be shipped comfortably, I think I'm going to use a shoe box. So pretty easy. I'll pull that out of my closet over here. And I always have a lot of different shoe boxes. I always have at least one full pack of shoe boxes because I do like using these a lot. And this is a non-flat rate priority box, so I can use it for Poshmark or for whatnot. And that's one thing I will say. This is kind of a tiny little tip that might save you some space. I sell a lot on Whatnot, and I also sell a lot on Poshmark. Poshmark allows flat rate boxes, but Whatnot does not, unless you set up shipping to be flat rate, which I don't recommend, unless you're doing like a show with smaller items. Because if you go over that 5-pound limit, then you're paying the out of cost pocket or price. So what I do is I try to keep priority packaging materials around that are not flat rate, because then I can use them for Whatnot and Poshmark if I need to. This is a 3-inch tape gun. I absolutely love it. The typical size of a tape gun is 2 inches, but I highly recommend getting a 3-inch one because it covers like half the top of this box. So I will just take her little pile she has here and slide it in like that. Easy peasy, fits perfectly. I'll take her invoice, put that in there, tape it shut, and then move on to the next. Just like that. And you guys usually see me use eBay tape, eBay branded tape. I get that from ebay.com, and you are allowed to use eBay tape for any sale you make. eBay tape is not a shipping service. It is just tape. Same with like for thermal labels. Let's just say eBay came out with their own thermal labels. I would be allowed to use those thermal labels on anything. Just because they say eBay on it does not mean has to be eBay. eBay is a brand, not necessarily a shipping service. It's not UPS, it's not USPS. It's not like Priority Mail, where Priority Mail is like this expedited special service. So when you see me using eBay tape, that doesn't necessarily mean it's an eBay sale. It just means I'm using eBay tape because that's what I have. And I get that from ebay.com. ebay.com gives quarterly coupons, so I get it for fairly cheap. Next item. This is a 3-piece bundle. I actually have it right here on my desk. 2 jeans and a top. I would love for this to fit into a poly bag. I just don't think that's possible. Sorry again that you can't see my actual desk. I need to get a new tripod, so I'll invest in one of those shortly. Again, we're going to use a box. One of these shoe boxes, and so on and so forth. This does not take me long to do it all. Because I am talking, it's taking me longer. But if you guys have any questions about how to do specifics with Whatnot shipping, let me know. There is a shipping, like a settings page for your shipping. That has to be done in the app. You cannot change your shipping settings on the website, unfortunately. So if you've been looking for and can't find where to change it to priority shipping over a pound or flat rate shipping, it's in the app. You'll have to open up your show, and then there's a shipping settings button. You'll look through that. All right. We'll pop this on just like that. Another one. And I just do this over and over again. I'll pull the label off right here. Make sure the actual label I'm looking at matches the person's invoice that I have in my hand. This buyer only bought 1 item, and this item was less than a pound. So this is when ground advantage shipping comes into play. This item I had in the system that it weighed 4 to 7 ounces, I think. Yeah, 4 to 7 ounces. So because it's less than a pound, I have it set to buyer gets ground advantage shipping rather than priority. So I'm going to use my own mailer for this. I cannot ship this into, can't ship this in a priority box because the label I have right here says ground advantage on it. So be sure, it's like a little puzzle. If your label says ground advantage, you cannot use a priority box for it. If your label says priority, you can really use any. If it just says priority, it doesn't differentiate between flat rate, padded envelope. You can use your priority label on any priority box as long as the weight and the measurements match the label you bought. Super easy. It's literally a puzzle, you guys. It's just a puzzle. All you have to do is make sure you weigh the item and measure the package. If it's in a box, you have to measure that box. And you have to weigh the item with the box included, because the box weighs stuff. So I get a lot of questions. I actually just got one right before I came on here. If I stick a box inside a poly mailer, do I charge them for a box or a poly mailer? You have to charge them whatever the dimensions of that package is. If you have a box, that box is not going to be squished down to anything else. Therefore, you have to charge them. You have to pay for whatever the dimensions of that hard structure is. Because it's not going to get smushed down in transit. When you're buying shipping labels, you are paying for the dimensions, the space your item is going to be taking up in the different forms of transit. So hopefully that kind of clears that up. Always, always, always weigh your items. I will say for Poshmark, it's a little bit different. They do have a dimension that you can't go over. I don't know what it is at the top of my head. And for Whatnot, it's a little bit different. They give you a priority mail label and you stick it into a priority box essentially. You don't have to be super worried about weighing it just because they don't ask you for the weight. They do in one section if you like change the stuff, but I think they do 12 by 12 by 12. So yes, let's grab this buyer's stuff. And I'm actually going to use a large box for this. I have this brown box here from a UPS order I just got, and I'm going to use it because I don't want to throw it out and waste it. So we're going to take this buyer's order, take the item number 1, pop it in there, and item number 2, pop it in there. This should fit just perfectly. Look at that. 2 items. This is a over 1 pound, so this is going out priority, but like I said, just because it's priority does not mean you have to use priority boxes. You just have to measure and weigh the item. Like let's say if this was an eBay sale. But for Whatnot, we're okay. So anyway, I'm going to finish packing these Whatnot orders off camera, and I'll come on with my Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari sales. If you have any questions about Whatnot shipping or how to do anything on Whatnot, drop a comment below. Maybe I'll make a question and answer video off your comments. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. And we changed shirts because it got so hot in here. I had that sweater on. I changed my shirt. So anyway, let's get started. I went and pulled all my orders, so we got them right here. By the way, if anybody is interested in this office chair, I just got it a few weeks ago. I absolutely love it. It's extra large, holds up to 400 pounds. It's linked down below in my Amazon bio. Let's get started. What do we have first? So what I do is I print all my labels out, and then on the label I will either write on the back of the label what the item is and what SKU number it is, or for eBay they give a place to put the SKU number, but this one you can see I wrote it on the back. So let's just start with this item. This is a poncho, a J. McLaughlin poncho that I sold on Mercari for $35. I had it listed I think around $38. She offered $30. I countered. Anyway, I don't remember the exact back and forth, but she bought it for $35 plus shipping. If you don't sell on Mercari, it is no seller fees. So she paid $35. She paid a little bit more than $35. I made $35. No fees were taken out. This is going to be shipped out UPS. I always use UPS or Ground Advantage for Mercari sales because UPS 1 to 3 pounds is $8 and it's the fastest service. So this is going to go out UPS for $8 shipping. The bag that it was held in has a SKU number on it. I am going to reuse this. So I'm going to stick this back into a box in my closet here in the office. So today, later when I go to photograph clothing, I will be able to pull out any of those empty bags and know that that SKU number is open to be used again. And I just repeat that process over and over again. So I love the way I do my SKU system. It works great for me. I know exactly how many spots I have open, and I never lose, well, that's not true. I've lost stuff before, but I don't often lose stuff. This is a J. McLaughlin little faux fur poncho, so I'm just gonna fold it up like that. Stick it into one of these eBay compostable poly bags. And yes, like I said, eBay, the same thing with eBay tape. You are allowed to use eBay poly mailers also for any platform you want. eBay poly mailers is not a shipping brand. It's just them branding, like how Amazon has their packaging and stuff with Amazon written all over it. It's the same idea with eBay. They just want to brand and have more people see their name out there. So next item, let's do this pair of Levi's. I got these on Whatnot. If you have never bought anything on Whatnot and you want to try the app, it's essentially an online live auction platform where you can go on and buy from sellers like myself and a lot of other sellers. And then they ship the stuff to you. It's really cheap. I got these, I think, for less than $5, including shipping costs. These sold on an offer on eBay for $32. And the cheapest way to ship these out was in a padded flat rate envelope. So I'm gonna fold them down real nice and tight and grab a padded envelope. They paid for priority shipping. And if I were to ship this out based on the dimensions I put in, it would have cost me a little over $9, but I was able to save like 50 cents shipping it in one of these flat rate padded envelopes, which is fine. I can almost always fit a pair of jeans in this envelope, so I'm just gonna pop it in, seal it off, and pop the label on. Nothing special. And it's important to note, like I mentioned earlier, shipping is like a puzzle. So this was an eBay sale, so I had to go in and manually pick what type of packaging and what type of service I wanted to use for this. And my label, because I picked padded flat rate envelope, my label literally says priority padded flat rate envelope on it. So I know that I need to ship this with the correct packaging, or else it will be sent back to me. They'll make me pay extra. They'll potentially make my buyer pay extra. And that is not what we want. That will get you a big hit on your account. So next, I had an offer come in for this pair of Banana Republic pants. Again, I'm going to take them out of this bag and put this bag in my closet, and I will reuse that for a later date. This is a pair of brand new, I think they are brand new, yep, brand new with the tag, Banana Republic wide leg blue pants. I had these listed, I think in the 40s. Somebody came around and offered me $35, which honestly I was very happy about. So here's another example of shipping. For this specific item, I have calculated shipping on my eBay store, so it's based on my location compared to the buyer's location. If you're right down the street from me, it's gonna be a heck of a lot cheaper for you to buy from me than if you were in California across the United States. So this buyer paid for priority shipping, and where the Levi's, it was actually cheaper to ship them in a padded flat rate. It was cheaper to keep these in just a normal priority mailer, just because the weight of this item and the dimensions of it. Mainly the weight. The dimensions are going to be exactly the same as those Levi's, and this mailer, this label here that I have says priority mail, no surcharge, and that's basically your sign that you can stick this into any priority packaging, non-flat rate, as long as you know the dimensions of it, and the dimensions that you put in match up with the label itself. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you have any shipping questions, be sure to drop them in the chat. If you're not following me on Facebook, I recommend it, because over on my Facebook page, we often do shipping quizzes where I'll post a picture of a piece of an item packaged all up and a label, and I ask you guys, is this correct? Can I do this? Can I not do this? If I can't, what am I supposed to be doing? And it's just really fun and interactive, and I love the community I have over on Facebook. So my Facebook is Mellowstate. If you're not following me, definitely go do so. Next item was a great sale. I love picking up Title IX items. I feel like it might have dropped off just a teeny bit since when I first discovered this brand, but I found this sweater. It was listed for a little bit of time. Here's a tag for you. It is a size large merino wool blend, maybe just a wool blend, zip asymmetrical sweater. I accepted an offer for $38 on this, which I was really happy about. Didn't have too much money in this, and I think I also got this item on Whatnot. So again, if you're not sourcing on Whatnot, I understand thrift stores are expensive. That's why I love sourcing on Whatnot. If it wasn't for me getting all these different bulk buyouts, I would be sitting at home on my phone sourcing on Whatnot. So $38 is sold on Poshmark, which means I'm allowed to use any priority mail packaging of choice, including flat rate packaging. I always use these tie-back envelopes. They're easy to store. They fit a lot of different things, and they're waterproof, all that good stuff. I'm gonna take the invoice that I print off with my Poshmark label, pop that in there, and seal this off. Sometimes I do tape the different tie-back envelopes. Sometimes they're super sticky, sometimes they're not sticky at all. So I do sometimes tape them, sometimes I don't. The batch I most recently got is not sticky, so I am sure to tape them down. Pop the label on this, 38 bucks. I am not upset about the sale. Sweaters, jackets, boots, coats, they are selling right now. So if you have stuff sitting in a box somewhere, I would highly recommend you pull all the winter items out of that box and get them listed, because they are selling, and they are selling quickly. Next item I have is another Poshmark sale. It's this cute little Talbot scarf. I was upset that these don't go for more, just because I love silk scarves. It's this really pretty butterfly square scarf, brand new with the tag. Had it listed just over $20. I did accept an offer for $18. Just because I know I don't want to hold on to this. It's a summary item, all that stuff. I am going to ship this in a padded flat rate envelope. It is a Poshmark sale. Just pop it in there. Make sure I pull the invoice off and pop that in there. Why do I put invoices in my Poshmark sales? It's very easy. It's kind of silly. My sister sometimes will ship my sales for me if I go on vacation, out of state, whatever. And I just found it easier for her to ship sales when the item itself was attached to the shipping label. Felt like she could stay more organized doing it that way. So I switched my settings to include invoices on my labels, and I never switched it back. So that is the honest truth of why I do it, because no other platform will I ship an invoice. It's only Poshmark, and that is why. So there we go, a padded flat rate little envelope Poshmark sale. Again, you are allowed to use flat rate packaging for Poshmark sales. Super nice. Next is another Poshmark sale. I sold these 3 as a set. They are Origins Ginger Body Souffle Creams. This is a liquid, so I'm going to show you how to package liquids safely so they don't explode in the mail. We do not want that. Let me grab my wrap. Again, all the supplies you see me using are linked down below in my Amazon storefront. This is so vital to have if you're shipping any type of liquid. It is just this nice plastic wrap. What I do is I take these, I first make sure that all the lids are very tight and on good, and then I seal it with this plastic wrap just a few times, just to give a first layer of leak-proofness. I'll go both directions. If you have anything with a pump, I definitely recommend either taking the pump out and sealing it with the actual lid if you have that option, or pushing the pump down and twisting it so it's in that lock position. I recently had somebody say I sent a bottle of gel and it popped open, I guess. My fault. So I learned my lesson there, that I need to do a few more wraps for items with pumps on them, because you don't want stuff leaking in the mail. You can get in big trouble, fines, all that stuff. So first layer is done. We gave these a good wrap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Amazon bubble mailer that I have just sitting around. I'm going to stick these into this mailer for a first or second layer of protection. Fold this over on itself, give it a good tape so it looks like that right now. And this is layer number 2. So if for whatever reason this gets squished, thrown, whatever, these lotions are not going to explode outside of the packaging. That is important when you're shipping stuff like this. And next we're gonna just pop it into a box. So unfortunately I don't have of the box I want to use. I would really prefer to have like a small shipping box, but I don't. So I'm going to take this flat rate, medium flat rate box by Priority, and because this is a Poshmark sale, I am allowed to use it. I'm gonna give it a nice taste. We are going to use, let's use this padding I have down here. All of the stuff I'm using, all like this brown paper stuff, is recycled. I don't often go out and buy brown paper. I do have packing paper in my closet back there, which I will use when I don't have any recycled paper laying around. But for the most part, I don't really have to spend very much money on shipping supplies because I'm always reusing, recycling, all that good stuff. I do always have packing paper laying around in case I run out of recycled stuff. So that's in my closet. And again, everything I use is linked down below in the Amazon storefront. Give this a double seal. And shipping label goes on. Easy peasy, right? Poshmark shipping is all Priority. The only thing that gets shipped out ground advantage on Poshmark is electronics. Electronics do get shipped out ground advantage. Next item, let's do this. This sold within 24 hours. It is a Bigelow Mentha Foot Tingling Foot Cream. This sold within a few hours. So this is also a lotion. What we're gonna do, the same thing we did with the other lotions, just seal it up. This sold on Mercari for $20. No seller fees, no fees were taken out. So I did make the full $20 on this, which we love to see. We are going to take another recycled box. I just got thermal labels delivered to me, and I'm gonna use this box and this netting. Just give it a nice little wrap in there. And we're gonna seal this shut. Super easy. I will say Mercari is the only place you can sell used beauty products, which is really nice because I don't have a lot of beauty products in my area being sold. My thrift stores, I think, throw them out before they even get to the floor, which is sad because I love selling beauty products. Poshmark does not. eBay allows used perfumes only, I believe, but don't quote me on that. So be careful with what you're listing where. I've definitely made mistakes in the past. Just recently, I even made a mistake and I learned from them. So just before you list anything kind of maybe you're questioning, do a little bit of research just to double check. We're gonna put this on. This is being shipped out ground advantage. Beautiful, love it. 2 pairs of Talbot's loafers. There's a buyer trying to buy these from me for a few days. We finally came to an agreeable price, which I'm so happy about because I love when buyers get like bundles of stuff from me. They're these beautiful pebbled leather loafers. She got 2 of the same ones, different colors. This was from my first original buyout that I did. My first ever buyout, the one that was just huge. I still have it. I still haven't gone through all my stuff. Very low cost of goods into these. I had them priced individually for $48. She sent me an offer originally, I think around $60. I countered. We countered back and forth a little bit. We never came to agreement. She declined my offer. And then this morning, she sent me a very reasonable offer. I think it was $73 for both of them, which I gladly accepted. I could tell she wanted them. I'm happy to give somebody who bundles an item together a deal. And yeah, so good sale here. I'm happy with this. $73. And I've been selling Talbot shoes pretty regularly ever since getting this haul, and they have been selling in the $30 to $40 range. So 2 pairs going to 1 buyer for $78, I think is very fair. So for this bundle, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I have these big 24 by 24 inch poly bags, and because there's 2 pairs of shoes here, I am going to use a poly bag to ship them. I just think it's easier and faster for me. Sometimes I take Sometimes I take the easier and faster route. I know I could use free shipping supplies from Poshmark, but I really don't feel like dealing with trying to make a box for these or this and that. So we're just gonna seal them up. They're protected. They have tissue paper surrounding them, and they stay close together in this poly bag. And this is 24 by 24. Again, all the poly mailers I use, all the shipping supplies I use are linked in the Amazon storefront, and I love them. It's all stuff linked there is what I use. So next item is this pair or set of Avita hand relief. These sold on eBay. They're all brand new. I had them listed in a bundle. Avita, oh my goodness, I'm throwing stuff. Avita is a great brand to keep your eye out for. These were from my beauty buyout that I got, that I posted about on my Facebook. They sold very quickly, I think within a day, for these three for $40, I believe. $40. So we're gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna wrap these up with plastic wrap and seal them in another bag before actually putting them into the box I plan to use for them. Like I said, yeah, these sold for $40. They shipped out Ground Advantage on eBay, and they sold quickly. Oh, by the way, as far as cross-listing goes, I do cross-post all my items. I use a service called PrimeLister. You can get a 2-week free trial through the link below. This is not sponsored by them. I love them so much. I've been using them for over a year now, probably over a year and a half now. Yeah, they send out automated offers on Poshmark. They do all the cross listing and stuff. So if you want to try that virtual assistant out, definitely check the link up below. You can get a free trial for 2 weeks, no credit card needed, and you can get 30% off your first payment if you decide that you like the tool. So definitely give that a try. And let me know what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments or your thoughts on any virtual assistant you use. All right, I don't have a box for this right now, so I'm gonna set these aside. I'm gonna show you my last and final sale, which I think you guys will be very surprised about. I already shared my Facebook friends. If you don't follow me on Facebook, you should. Again, Mellowstate is the name. I got these also in the beauty buyout. They're a bunch of Suave body washes. These sold a set of 6. Guess how much these sold for? I'll leave you a few seconds. Go down to the chat and tell me your guess price. 6 Suave body washes, very cheap at Walmart. How much? How much do you think I sold these for? And guess how fast I sold them? I'll wait. Okay, that's long enough. These sold for $81 on eBay. Can you believe that? $81 in a few days, less than a week. I don't know how many days, but I think maybe 2 or 3 days. Absolutely crazy. This is a discontinued, not available set of Suave Mango Mandarin. Discontinued stuff is highly sought after, you guys. If you have not been looking up beauty products, you should be, because there's so much money in them. My past, I don't know, 10 sales on eBay have been beauty products. Crazy, 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 crazy. So go look up discontinued. Go to your closet in your bathroom right now and look up your beauty products and see if they're discontinued or what they're selling for, because pricing goes up the longer the item has been out. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys today. Hopefully you learned something new. Again, leave a comment about any questions you have about whatnot shipping or regular shipping, and I'll try to answer it. Share this video with a friend, perhaps. I'm trying to grow this YouTube audience I have over here. Follow me on all the platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I post shorts, reels, all that good stuff of me shipping. I will catch you guys in the next one. Smooches.